Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, it helps futures lose pride.
Hello, everybody. This is Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. Let me slow that down. Robert Lawrence Ferguson. That is my name. Actually, when I grew up as a kid, all of the people who know me best, they knew me as Lawrence, which is my middle name. And then it was the Ferg. I love putting the, like there was like only one. And then when I went into the Marine Corps, it was back to my formal name, Robert. And then for fun, I like to say Roberto because I'm always working on my Spanish. So Robert Lawrence Ferguson, Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. So welcome to Diet Free Life with Robert Ferguson. I am excited and always delighted to share with you guys. And today is one that I wanted to share with you as we bring 2024 to a close. And that is, I want to share with you 15 conditions that potentially could be avoided, definitely are likely to happen in one's life if they live long enough. And there's one nutrient that is missing that is the primary cause for why so many people have certain challenges with their health. And I want you to know about it. So this is not a sales presentation. This is like every other presentation that we put out there where I like to share truths that I know that can be very helpful and beneficial to people. So I have made available an article. So if you look under the descriptions, you can actually access the article. There's 64 references that I'll be reading off of that support everything that I'm going to share with you. Now, this is not for 20-something-year-olds. I'm not saying you can't be here if you're 20-something. I don't have a presentation and videos where I'm going to keep it moving. So this is for grown folks, people who want to know how to make the best of their health. Now, with 2025 coming, each and every year, I put on a 8-week fat loss challenge. Now, there's information below. This is a completely new 8-week fat loss challenge. It is every year, but this one's completely new. It has integrated in it not the 8-week, it's 8-week fat loss challenge, but we've integrated what we call the 4M body makeover. Now, in just 8 weeks, people are going to lose a lot of weight. People are going to learn a lot about nutrition. People are going to be off to a great start. So we use the entire month of January to promote this. So my recommendation is register early. We'll be sharing information all the way up into the challenge. And that doesn't mean that you can't start doing other things. But what we've discovered, what I have witnessed firsthand for the last 30 years, is that people will enroll into a new gym. They'll get started with some excitement and then it will fade. Or they're still recovering from all of the expenses from Christmas and things are just a little tight. I like to use the whole month to get ready. So we're not fading. We're just going to have momentum and keep it going. Now, for those of you who are wanting to finally do something that's going to improve your health, and not be one of those things you did like last year, the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that, this can be different. And that's why I wanted to go over 15 lifelong health risks that show up after the age of 30. Now, for some people, it actually shows up beforehand. And I'm not going to keep you long. My goal is to get all this done inside of 30 minutes. Now, before I do all of that, let me just give you a little bit of background. Everything that I do is evidence-based and clinically proven. I've worked with some big Fortune 20 companies where they're making billions of dollars. I've done clinical trials. I've helped many celebrities, a lot of pro athletes, and many everyday people. I've done work with Let's Move in the past. I have my goals and aspirations to do things with the current administration as it pertains to helping citizens become healthier. And a lot of that is nutrition education. I've been a provider for continued education for the largest fitness groups as well as personal training organizations in the world. And as I mentioned already, we've done a couple clinical trials to prove that what I share is substantiated, not just based on evidence, but also based on clinical outcomes. Now, I share this with you not to impress you, but to impress upon you that it is my goal to give you solid information that can help you. Okay. And that's why I want you to write down, you can take notes. I've provided a link to the full article that I'm going to walk you through. The references are all there. We have 64 citations. You can look them all up. You can learn more. But I'm going to share information with you that can help you. And I like to make those references available because you may share this video with your doctor, with your nurse, your friends who are in the health and wellness space. But I'm going to share with you information that I would love for you to put this in front of them. And I am confident there is no way they could refute anything that I'm sharing. You can't, because it's a fact. When you look at molecules that have been studied in America, in the world, the top 5, we're talking about one of those. So the data is there. You can go to a physician desk reference. You can go to Google Scholar. You can go to PubMed. Everything I'm going to share with you is information that is substantiated. It's backed up. There's a ton of evidence. And you would think that everyone would know what I'm going to share with you, but they don't. And that's okay. But that's why we're doing this. Okay. So let me remove this and let me go back to the full screen. All right. And there's some more information down there. And if you've ever thought about becoming a nutritionist, a health and weight loss coach, now is a good time to do it. Reach out to me. Don't miss the opportunity, because you're going to do great if you get involved. And the sooner you get involved, the better. Okay. So the question that I'm asking is, if there were one nutrient that when consumed on a daily basis, it could significantly help prevent, reduce, and avoid health conditions as you age, would you make it a priority to make it part of your habits? Well, there is a nutrient, and this is real. And let's say that you are 30 years old, and maybe you're 40, maybe you're 45, maybe you just turned 50, maybe you're close to 60. I mean, it really doesn't matter. But the point is, and why I wanted to do this presentation for you, is that some things are predictable, right? It's kind of like if someone has stage 2 kidney disease. If you do nothing, over time, it's going to progress to stage 3. If you do nothing, it will eventually show up as stage 4. That's predictable if you do nothing. The same thing can happen with fatty liver. The same thing can happen with the big C word. But what if you could do something? And that's what we're talking about. So I want you to think about it like this. Here you are. You may not have problems with your eyesight, but we do know that over time, eventually many people will notice that they don't see as good. Then it's reading glasses. Then they need eye drops. Next thing you know, they're older and they say you have degeneration with your eyesight. And as a result of that, they blame it on age. But what if you could have done something? What if you could have done something before you woke up or got diagnosed with lupus? What if you could have been doing something or taking something that could have helped you not experience joint pain and stiffness? Well, there is something, and it's called omega-3 fatty acids. And I'm not talking about your omega-3 down the street or something you can just pick up at a store. I'm talking about one that actually works. And the reason why I can say it actually works is because you can do a test. It's called a dried blood spot test. And you can get that test done with the #1 laboratory in the world that does it, called Vitas, Vitas. And it's actually really easy to do. So if someone sent you this video and they said, hey, watch, Robert is going to walk you through a few things. Just give it, 20, 30 minutes and it'll all make sense. Maybe that person can help you get that test done. Or maybe you want to reach out directly to me and I can help you get that test done. Everyone can get this test done. And when you get the test done, the test don't lie. You remove confirmation bias. You get to see it for what it is. This is what we refer to as test-based nutrition. Okay. So let's look at what could potentially be prevented. #1, chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation. How many people do you know that are walking around with inflammation and they know they're inflamed? And they probably knew that it was going to happen many years ago, but now it's there. So as I look at the data, it says chronic inflammation contributes to approximately 60% of all deaths worldwide due to its role in heart disease, stroke, cancer, and diabetes. And omega-3 fatty acids, what we're talking about, and polyphenols can help with that, meaning it can help reduce the inflammation in the body. So this is important. Okay. So that's #1. #2, cardiovascular health declines. I don't know if you knew it, but according to most studies and the American Heart Association, 1 in 5 deaths are counted to because of cardiovascular health. And the American Heart Association says that individuals with low omega-3s are at a significant greater risk of fatal cardiovascular events, meaning if you don't have enough in your body. How do you know if you have enough? There's a test. See, you don't have to guess. Like your doctor could say, hey, you may want to take a fish oil, get some omega-3s. And maybe you're taking them. But is it working? With well over 200 of my clients that I have personally tested, and they were taking some fish oil or omega-3, when we tested them, they failed miserably. So it does matter what you're taking, but the key here is to make sure you take the test. #3, this is something that could be avoided. Cognitive function diminishes. As we don't have enough DHA, omega-3s in our brain, we start to increase the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's. It's an estimated 6.7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's right now. And they expect that number is going to double by 2060. Okay, that's crazy. And maybe some of those people, if they had adequate amount of omega-3s, DHA in their brain, they wouldn't be living or experiencing Alzheimer's. The clinical insights are there. So again, I've made this article available. You can go download it and read it. You can print it out. I made it really easy. You can print it, read for yourself. #4, depression and anxiety. Dr. Joseph Hibbelin, who I've had the privilege and opportunity to interview and talk to, and now in regular communication, has done multiple double-blind, placebo-controlled trials where they have demonstrated in these trials where you can reduce suicidal thoughts by 50% and increase perceived happiness by 30% just by making sure you have an adequate amount of omega-3s in your body. You can't make this stuff up. Think about all the people who are living with suicidal thoughts. Think about all the people who, unfortunately, maybe that happened to them. And based on all of the data that Dr. Hiblin's done and the testing that they've done around the world, we could reduce the risk of suicidal thoughts by 50% just by making sure we have an adequate amount of omega-3s in our brain. And guess what? You can test to know if you have an adequate amount. It's amazing. Number 5, we only got 15. Vision problems develop. Vision problems develop. Let me share with you in 2024 what I personally witnessed. 28 of my clients, and many of them will watch this live or catch the replay. 28 of them used to have, keyword, used to have dry eye. They don't anymore because we did the test to see where they were as far as their levels of omega-3, which plays a big role in vision. We saw that they were low. We increased it, and now they don't have to buy drops. Their vision's better. Everything's better. And I know everybody's different. But I'm just telling you, this is what I have personally experienced with my own clients. It's unbelievable. Now, do you have to supplement to make sure you get enough omega-3s? No, you can actually eat your way there. And I can help you with that. I could give you a nutrition plan. You don't even need a supplement. It's going to be challenging, but I will tell you exactly what to eat. I'll give you a full, complete grocery list. And I also can recommend a supplement. And we know if what I'm recommending is working because there's a test. I have 2 clients that have macular degeneration. One of them couldn't really see the top line, the first letter or word or letter or a number. Now they can. And all we did was make sure they had an adequate amount of omega-3. Number 6, insulin resistance becomes a problem. This is happening to a lot of people. According to Tufts University, they say that 93% of people, adults in America, have some level of insulin resistance. When you're wanting to lose weight and it's harder and you don't understand, it's like you're eating less, you feel like you're doing everything right, but the weight is just not coming off. That's a sign that you have insulin resistance. If you go to the doctor and you have fatty liver, you have insulin resistance. There's a quick and easy way to find out if you have insulin resistance, and I can help you with that. 1 in 3 adults right now are pre-diabetic. So we're talking about over 80 million, and 80% of those people have no idea that they're pre-diabetic. That's insulin resistance. It's affecting many people, and it's showing up a lot of different ways. And if you want to improve your insulin resistance by becoming more insulin sensitive, one of the things you can do is to make sure you're not insufficient with your levels of omega-3. And yet, you already know it. There's a test. Okay, you're starting to get it. Joint pain and stiffness worsens after the age of 30. And I've heard many people, you can watch commercials, they talk about how they did something with their omegas and they don't have the same stiffness and joint discomfort and pain. Well, all the data says the same thing. And I'm seeing it with my clients. So again, many of these things could be avoided if we didn't live with a insufficient amount of omega-3s in the body. And how do you know? You can do a test. Number 8, skin loses elasticity. Wow. I can't tell you how many people, actually one of my new coaches and partners, her name is Sue Jin. She can look at people and tell if they're lacking in omega-3s. Like she can just look at them. And she's actually watched some people who sell certain supplements, like collagens for different companies that's not part of what she's part of. And they give credit to those supplements they're selling for the glow in their skin, but that's not what's doing it. It's that they have an adequate amount of omega-3 now that's working in their body. That's powerful. Wow. And another thing why I have so many references when I share information and why I like to have articles that go with videos that I make available, because there are a lot of crooks out there when it comes to network marketing or multi-level marketing or people doing direct sales with various products. And they're not substantiated. That's not the space that I'm in. As I mentioned early on, everything that I do is evidence-based and clinically proven. So as a nutritionist and a guy who's out there helping people, we keep track of all of our data. And so if I'm going to recommend a supplement or a test, right, like the DBS test that I recommend, is scientifically validated. Tufts University uses the same technology with the same company. Harvard uses the same company. The Mayo Clinic uses the same company. That's why this is not sales. I'm just sharing with you facts. We can all get this test. Everybody, like everyone, like I believe every NFL player, every kid doing gymnastics, everyone should have this test done. And once you know, you know. Okay, number 9, energy levels drop. How many people do you know are living life? They go, man, I just don't have the same get up and go. I can't tell you how many people I've done the test on who said things like that, and they were deficient. They had very insufficient levels of omega-3 in their body. And you improve that, you improve many things to include a bump of energy. It's amazing. And I don't know why your doctor's not doing this. I don't get it. It's not standard. I don't understand. It's not standardized. The day will come, it will be, but you can do it at home right now. Number 10, gut health. Did you know that omega-3s are a prebiotic? And it's prebiotics that fuel your live bacteria so that you have more postbiotics, short chain fatty acids, the things that help seal up and make that gut strong and healthy. And did you know that 70% of your immune system is your gut? So prebiotics are your friends. Like when you eat broccoli and asparagus and food that has a good amount of dietary fiber, there's benefits that come with that based on your gut health. And if you want a strong immune system, you want to have a strong gut health. So omega-3 is that. Polyphenols are also a prebiotic, which are the two things that I'm recommending so you can either deal with your situation, hopefully reduce the risk of one of these conditions happening to you. But I have answers for you. I have answers. That's number 10. Number 11, immune function weakens. Well, we all know that if you have a weak immune system, you're more vulnerable to a whole bunch of stuff. And that happens with age. And this same nutrient that we're talking about is a nutrient that can be helping you. Number 12, we're going to 15. Bone density decreases. Now, that's going to happen with age. However, we know that omega-3s can help maintain bone health by enhancing calcium absorption and reducing inflammation. Here's a stat, and it's in the article. You can download it and take it to your doctor. You can share it with people. Osteoporosis affects about 10 million Americans, and 44 million have low bone mass, increasing their risk of fractures. You ever heard of someone going to the hospital because they had a hip fracture? Some of those people don't make it out. And then about 50%, if I'm right, you can check up the stats on this, who experience a hip fracture eventually experience it again. And then that next time it doesn't work out well. So we want this nutrient that I'm talking about. Number 13, heart disease becomes a serious threat. Now, these stats are intriguing. Now, it says long-term omega-3 deficiency, which I've substantiated, contributes to hardening of the arteries, elevated blood pressure, and other conditions that increase the risk of cardiovascular disease, the leading cause of death in the world. Who wouldn't want to take a supplement that is proven to help with this and you're maturing in life? Who wouldn't? And then you can confirm if the supplement is working based on a test. Now, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to realize why this is important, what I'm sharing with you. Everybody benefits from what I'm sharing. And then let the products let's do the test with them all. And then we can see which one is working and which ones aren't. Number 14, there's two more. Increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases. As the brain ages, omega-3s are critical for maintaining neural connections and clearing harmful plaques. Deficiency significantly raises the likelihood of developing Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. People, print out the article. Some of you feel like you got to go to your doctor. Go, print it out, walk it in and show them. Please. Please do that for yourself. Or just contact me. Or contact whoever cares about you and told you about watching this video. And they said, just give the guy some time. We're almost done. Number 15, inflammation in the gums and oral health. You know when you're brushing your teeth and you see you're spitting out and rinsing your mouth, you see blood in there? Well, every dentist, they would benefit from telling their clients about a really good quality omega-3. Every dentist would. Why wouldn't they? And then when you have a test, it's kind of like back in the day when they would take Tide or the different detergents and they would put them side by side. Let's put it to the test. Or, you have the paper towels, which one can kind of wipe up. Let's put it to the test. I've already done this. I endorsed 2 products in my entire career in 2 different companies. One was a liquid collagen, which is still a good product. It's a little pricey, but it's a good product. And I can't wait to be in a position to tell you guys about a new product coming out, a collagen that I can attest is going to be better than the one that I've previously endorsed. And it's not my opinion. There's a test. Okay. But this product that I'm endorsing called Balance Oil, I've done the test. We've done the test side by side with all the other products. There is no competition. As I record this video on the last day of 2024, at this moment in time, unless it's out there and I just never saw it, but I've tested over 15 different products up against the Balance Oil. There is no competition at this moment in time because we have a test. So you want better gum health? You want to reduce inflammation in the gums? It's all there. Now, when you print this out or if you click on the link and read the article, you'll be able to read about what a DBS test is. And you can learn more about it. And one of the things that matters the most to me about the DBS test, aside from the fact that it helps you realize that you have a good product and that you're making progress, is that it gives you your arachidonic acid levels. Arachidonic acid is a fatty acid, and it's associated or linked to pro-inflammatory, like causes inflammation. It's also a precursor for blood clot, stroke, heart disease. And at this moment in time, it's not standardized by most physicians. So it's not like when you get your cholesterol panel. It's not like when you go in, they do your blood pressure. It would be you probably have to pay cash. And most of the time, as of right now, physicians are not trained to explain and talk about arachidonic acid. That doesn't mean they don't know, but it's not part of their medical training. As a nutritionist and a guy who really cares about his clients and the people that I come in contact with, I know a lot about arachidonic acid. And so the fact that this same test that you get done will tell you exactly what your levels are of arachidonic acid, that's a big deal. And what's cool about knowing your levels of arachidonic acid is it can help you sleep better at night once you understand the importance of arachidonic acid. And I've written quite a few articles on it, but it's something that everyone would benefit from being aware of. Everyone. Okay. And then, of course, I talk about the balance oil, and then we get into all these citations. There's 64. There's 64. So if I was 30, if I was 40, if I was 60, if I was 70, if I cared at all about my personal well-being and health, I would be getting this test, and I would be on the balance oil yesterday. You can't even dispute anything that I'm sharing with you because it's based on facts. When you look at the ratios of omega-6 to omega-9, and I'm going to end on this, the World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, and the list goes on and on. They all agree that knowing your omega-6 to 3 ratio is very important and is a big part of optimizing personal health and well-being. Now, you have to ask yourself the question, why hasn't this come up when I talk to my doctors? They're aware of it because it's everywhere. It's been in literature for years. And we know that in 1900, the average person was 1-to-1. The first number is for omega-6. The second number is for omega-3. So we were in complete balance. That means that we were getting enough. We weren't getting too much. We weren't getting too little as far as omega-6 and 3, because they're both essential and they both have benefits. Then in 1960, we know it's been estimated we were 3-to-1. So 3 omega-6, 1 omega-3. Today, the average person is 25-to-1, meaning we get way too much omega-6 and we are not getting enough omega-3. This is not a hard sell. I just tell people, get the test. And then you start using the supplement. You must supplement. And it's not something that you start and stop. This is not like a multivitamin or something that, is going to make your wrinkles go. This is your health. If you don't, as I just went over 15 conditions that are in front of you, that you could reduce the risk of those things happening just by making sure you're consuming a nutrient, omega-3s with the polyphenols. That's what's important. And you can do an easy test to make sure that it's working. You're not wasting any money when you can do a test. And it's going to help you. Don't wait until you got to deal with something pretty serious. Now, if you got to deal with something pretty serious, I would be drinking this stuff like it's going out of style. And if you don't want to drink the oil, they do have soft gels. So there you go. That's my share today. I'm going to look and see if I have any questions. I'm assuming I don't. Again, the article, I've made it available to everybody. And all you got to do is, check it out. I'm glad you caught me, Sandy. There's good information here. I recommend, send this video to friends. Share it with other people, because we're living in a world right now where there's an ingredient that we're not getting. Part of the reason for that is the way food is being made, the way animals that we end up eating, for those who eat animals, are fed. They're not getting the same nutrients. And if we eat them, we're not getting the same nutrients that we once got years ago. Then you got the challenges with the soils being diminished. This stuff is real. Why do you think we were in a better place in 1960 and a much better place in 1900? We didn't have these challenges of not getting enough omega-3s. And now there's a test, so you can make sure you know, right? So when you have a test, you don't have to guess. You know, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful to be in a position where I can share information that someone's going to get this and it's going to make all the difference for them. I hope it's you. Share it with someone that you care about. Okay, share it with someone you love. And make sure you do it for yourself as well. I'm Robert Ferguson. This was the last one of 2024. I'll be back with new music, new presentations, new updates, all of that starting on day 1 of 2025. And until then, you can reach out to me. You can schedule a free consultation. I'm here to share because I do care. Until the next one, let's rock it out. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and take us home. Woo!
No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see it through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right.